This guy who just took the headbutt is now the winner.
And then I take pictures with my belt.
And then he takes pictures with his belt, and everybody online is complaining, oh, he's not the real champ, man. Eye pokes, are those ever flagrant fouls? Well, yeah, if I like grab him like this and I start digging my fingers in his eye like Master Wong teaches you, yeah, the referee's gonna be like, hey, whoa, chill out, Master Wong, you're disqualified, that's a flagrant foul. And he'll be like, I do these things for the streets, not for the cage. And that's one of the reasons Master Wong will never fight in the UFC. One of them. Anyway.
Not the most important one.
Not the most important one, but one of them. Hey, it's Ramsey Dewey over here in Shanghai, China. We're going to answer some questions about the difference between flagrant fouls and accidental fouls. So you may have seen the UFC match between Aljamain Sterling and Petr Yan, where this happened. They clinched up. Sterling goes down to one knee. A knee comes up to the head. Boom! Sterling goes down and the referee intervenes, disqualifying Yan. Okay, if you don't know what that's about, it is illegal. It's a foul to kick, knee, or stomp the head of a downed fighter. If any part of my body besides the soles of my feet are on the ground, including one knee, I'm a downed fighter. Also, if there are 4 points of contact, meaning 2 hands and 2 feet on the ground, I'm also a downed fighter. And you may not kick, knee, or stomp the head of a downed fighter. You can do all kinds of other things. You can punch, you can elbow, etc. to the head of a downed fighter, but you may not kick, knee, or stomp. So in this position, go ahead.
Knee.
Boom! That's a flagrant foul under the unified rules of mixed martial arts. Okay? Now, I had a question. What is different about that and, say, a guy like Jon Jones, who seems to get away with poking the guy in the eye in every single one of his fights? Why does Jon Jones get away with it and Petr Yan didn't? What makes throwing a striking combination and then a thumb gets in the eye in the process okay, and this move, kneeing the head of a guy who's kneeling down, not okay? That's where we get into some interesting territory. An accidental foul. The same thing with a groin kick. Let's say we're throwing combinations here. I want to land an inside leg kick. Boom, a perfectly fair and legal blow, okay? And that kick, maybe he moves a little bit and then accidentally, boom, gets him right in the groin, okay? Obviously, that's an accident. It's for the referee to decide. Now, if I run up to him like, here it comes, boom, okay? It really depends on how it looks. So if you're very apologetic, you can get away with a lot in professional fighting. Yes, we're talking about professional fouls. This can happen, this does happen all the time, right? Fighters are experts at landing shots in very specific places. So if I know clipping him in the groin is going to give me a specific advantage, maybe I'll throw a couple leg kicks, right? Inside leg kick. And then I'll throw, boom, a groin kick and be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, ref, I didn't mean to. I apologize, forgive me, right? Yes, it's kind of like I'm giving you a lesson on how to be a professional fouler, but it's also a lesson on how to avoid that, because if you don't understand the rules, if you don't understand how the rules are milked, the rules will be used against you. Let's talk about eye pokes for a minute. In the case of Jon Jones, right? Generally, the eye pokes happen in punching exchanges, striking exchanges. And this isn't just Jon Jones, this is lots of people. I've seen so many fights where accidental eye pokes happen. It happens at the gym all the time when we do sparring with MMA gloves because the fingers come out. And sometimes those fingers accidentally poke the dude in the eye. It even happens in boxing gloves. Sometimes you'll get the leather right in the eye and you're looking up the wrong way. It just happens. If we're throwing an exchange and this thumb comes out and touches his eyeball on the exchange, a referee is going to consider that incidental, especially if I ham it up a little bit and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to. Believe it or not, that little bit of theatricality goes a long way in a fight. It really does. How about striking the throat? You probably heard that striking the throat is a foul. And it is, but it also isn't, because there's a byline there. And that byline is, in the stand-up portion of a fight, if we are exchanging strikes and a strike lands on the throat, it is a fair and legal blow. Did you know that? When is it not a fair and legal blow? Come on down to the ground. Maybe I'm in knee mount here. I lift his chin up, boom, boom, and I start punching him in the throat. At this point, that's no longer a fair and legal blow.
American Psycho.
Yeah. So again, if we're exchanging blows up here and a strike lands to the throat, and this happens all the time. If you watch fights in slow motion, on these striking exchanges, people get punched in the neck, in the throat, constantly kicked in the neck, kicked in the throat, all the time. In the stand-up portion of the fight, it is a fair and legal blow. Okay? Headbutts. Oh man, headbutts are always illegal. Okay? So generally, a headbutt is going to be a flagrant foul. If I grab his head and I'm like, boom, okay, the referee is going to jump in and disqualify me instantly. Now, if we're clinching and our heads knocked together accidentally, like boom, oh man, I didn't like that. Obviously, it's not a flagrant foul. Going back to the neck punching thing, this is incidental. That's a fair and legal blow. Now, if I've got him pinned up here, and he's not intelligently defending himself, and I'm teeing off on his neck, yeah, the referee's going to intervene and he's going to have a few words with me. Okay? Striking the back of the head. Oh man. Do you remember when Zhang Weili, she had a fight a while back? Trying to remember her opponent's name. Anyway, she had a fight. She was Jessica Andrade. That was it. Thank you, cameraman. She clinches up. She's got a collar tie and she's throwing some elbows, boom, that land basically, here, let's move over this way just a bit, basically to this area, which a lot of people are saying, hey, she's hitting her in the back of the head. Okay? And sort of, except those are fair and legal blows. If I'm throwing an elbow to the side and my opponent brings his head down, or I'm clinching and his head comes down and my elbow lands here, that's okay. What does the back of the head actually mean? Here, go and turn around here.
Okay.
Yeah, the back of the head is this area. It's an area a couple inches wide between the ears, right there, the back of the neck, the spine. These are areas where you are not allowed to strike. Okay? So what that means, if I manage to get behind him and he's not moving, he's not intelligently defending himself, and I'm hitting him right here, right here, right here, that's a foul. If I've got him on the ground and I just start punching the back of his head, this is a flagrant foul. Now, maybe I'm in a side ride, something like this, and I'm trying to punch the sides of the head, the ears, the jaw, etc. But while I'm throwing this hammer fist, he turns his head to the left, boom, and I hit the back of the head. That's going to be incidental. I'll be like, the referee might give me a warning, hey, control those shots, no strikes to the back of the head. Now, if I pin his head down, we're just like boom, 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 yeah, the referee's going to jump in and call that a flagrant foul, and I'm going to face potential disqualification. Possibly immediate disqualification. Let's talk about that for a minute. Why sometimes you get a warning and why sometimes you get disqualified. All right? If there's a flagrant foul, the referee has the authority to stop the fight and call it a DQ immediately. So if I do a headbutt, boom, and it's a flagrant foul, it is obvious I'm trying to foul him. The referee can run in there, he'll be like, it's over, DQ, you're disqualified. This guy who just took the headbutt is now the winner.
And then I take pictures with my belt.
And then he takes pictures with his belt, and everybody online is complaining, well, he's not the real champ, man. Okay, same thing. If he goes down to one knee, and I'm like, screw this, boom, and I start throwing knees to the head of a downed fighter. This is also a flagrant foul. All right, now here's something a lot of people don't know about Muay Thai. Muay Thai has different rules than MMA. Now in Muay Thai, if we're fighting and I get a sweep, boom, and I throw a head kick right off of the sweep, that's a fair and legal blow. Okay, a lot of people don't know that. Because in MMA, if I did that, people would be like, whoa, you just kicked at the head of a down fighter, right? Now there's a subtle difference. If I do that sweep, boom, and I wait for a second, and now I'm like, boom. Okay, no, that doesn't fly in Muay Thai either. But again, if I sweep him, boom, and immediately throw the kick, that's okay. A kick or a knee as he's falling, that's okay in Muay Thai. In MMA, you're going to have a hard time getting away with that, but it might be a gray area depending on whether he's falling or whether the referee considers he's on the ground at that point. So there have been a few fights where, let's say this happened, an exchange of strikes happens, maybe he gets wobbled, boom, and I'm bringing a knee up, and he's falling to his knee, and maybe he collapses to his knee as my knee comes up. That's going to be ruled incidental. The referee might step in and have a doctor look at him, right? Because he saw, I'm in the middle of throwing a combination, boom, and as the knee lands, his knee hits the floor, okay? That's not a flagrant foul. The referee is not going to say, hey, badly done, mister, you're disqualified now. But he may ask the ring doctor to come in, have a word with this fighter, assess his health, and decide whether or not he's able to continue. Okay? And if he's not able to continue, he might, according to the referee's discretion, decide that this is a no contest and stop the fight. Nobody wins, nobody loses, basically. Eye pokes, are those ever flagrant fouls? Well, yeah, if I like grab him like this and I start digging my fingers in his eye like Master Wong teaches you, yeah, the referee's going to be like, hey, whoa, chill out, Master Wong, you're disqualified, that's a flagrant foul, get out of here, right? And he'll be like, I do these things for the streets, not for the cage. But
referee will send him back to the streets.
and that's one of the reasons Master Wong will never fight in the UFC. One of them. Anyway.
Not the most important one.
Not the most important one, but one of them. Right. But again, if we're exchanging strikes and maybe he throws a punch and his thumb is slightly extended and it gets in my eye. Ah, my eye. Okay. Let's talk about what you should do if you are accidentally fouled, because this happens constantly. My very first MMA fight, it happened to me. I got kneed in the groin. I clinched up with the guy like this, and I start throwing some knees, and he throws a knee back right in my groin. Boom! And I remember thinking, like, where's the referee? Why isn't he stopping this? And I was like, well, dang, the referee didn't notice. So I just kept throwing the knees. Boom! I was wearing a cup. It wasn't that bad. And he keeps throwing the knees back, and he hits me in the groin again. Boom! I'm like, dang, this sucks. But I keep going, and this goes on for some time. And after the fight, I was thinking, why didn't the referee run in there and start wagging his finger at the other guy saying, hey, you can't do low blows? Because he didn't notice it. When does the referee notice a low blow? It's when a fighter makes a fuss about it. If we're fighting and he throws an inside leg kick that lands on the groin, oh, and I have a big reaction, the referee is going to run in there and he's going to assess the situation and possibly issue a 5-minute break and ask that fighter if he's able to continue. Okay? Now, if we're fighting and I throw repeated if I'm doing something like that, yeah, the referee's going to run in there and say, whoa, get out of here, man. You're done. You're done. You're not working in this town again, buddy.
So what to do in that case?
Yeah, so if you're accidentally fouled, put some space between you and let the referee know, right? And this is important. I've seen, I'll give you an example of a fight where a guy played it up, he hammed it up at the wrong time, right? They're clinched up, right? The dude throws a knee, boom, and he's like, whoa, referee. And as, boom, yes, that's exactly what happened, an elbow to the face. And he got knocked out before he could call the referee's attention to it.
Yeah, you need to separate.
And you know what? The guy who landed the groin shot followed by the elbow won the fight. You might be thinking, that's not fair. Okay, the referee's only human, right? He does have the best perspective right there. But in a clinch, it's very hard to tell if that landed on the thigh, on the hip, or in the groin,
yes,
or right in the abdomen, right? And it's hard to tell if that's a butterfly hook or if that is a groin strike, especially when both guys are tied up really tight and they're both exchanging knees and there's a lot of fast and furious action here. All right, boom, and they're really close.
Yeah,
okay?
Referee cannot see.
So if he tags me in the groin, boom, and I'm like, whoa, right? And I lower my guard. You never want to lower your guard to signal the referee, right? Now, what you want to do is make sure that it's safe. Like maybe you're clinched up really tight, like, hey, ref, right? He got me right there. Or make some distance, right? And then signal the referee from there.
Yeah, now they have option to watch that, I think, in UFC, to watch the video.
Yeah, they do some replays in the UFC. At a local level tournament, and most of the folks watching YouTube channels for tips on how to fight are probably not fighting in the UFC. You're probably fighting in local level competitions. So you're not going to have the benefit of a slow motion, high speed camera playback of, ah, yes, that was a groin strike. So let's evaluate that. No, it's a referee making the call on the spot. So I hope that helps you understand the difference between a deliberate foul, otherwise known as a flagrant foul, and an accidental foul. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Now get out there and train.
Hey fella, looks like you could use a rash guard. What for, you say? Well, they protect your skin against mat-borne illnesses, mat burn, and they make you look incredibly cool. But where do I get a rash guard from? Hey, have you heard of xmartial.com? Yeah? Then what are you waiting for? Check them out right now. xmartial.com has all kinds of rash guards, from sleek and simple, novelty, badass designs, and more. Channel your inner Japanese cartoon rat monster. Express your love for bad puns and kitty cats doing iconic jujitsu moves. Hey, that panda's gonna hit the other panda with a folding chair like a pro wrestler. And this one makes your right arm stand out. xmartial.com, serving your needs beyond just no-gi Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Now, find brand new equipment for mixed martial arts, kickboxing, Muay Thai, wrestling, and more at xmartial.com. As always, use my code Ramsey10 for 10% off everything on the website. Once again, that's xmartial.com. Rash guards, spats, shorts, and more. Links and discount codes in the description below.